My predictions for the Tortured Poets department. Starting off, let's talk about Sunday. And so I actually have the video, which is so cool. She gets on stage, she announces the Tortured Poets department, and I was like, what? What are we gonna get from this album? Am I missing something? So, last thing, let's talk about the timeline. Hey guys, what's up? Today I'm going to be talking about my predictions for the Tortured Poets department, Taylor Swift's new album coming out on April 19th. I am so excited for this album. So I'm just gonna talk about everything that I'm thinking, all the ideas I have. First things first, something everybody is talking about because this is really strange and crazy. The longest title was Speak Now, which was 2 words. Now we have a 4-word title. And it's just not something that rolls off the tongue. However, it's catchy. I've said the Tortured Poets department likely 500 times or something like that. I genuinely talk about it all day right now. And still, somehow, I always have to think about it a little bit. Less now than initially. So, starting off, let's talk about Sunday, when the Grammys happened, when the Tortured Poets department was announced, all of that. Let me talk about how I found out about it, all that stuff. On Sunday afternoon, Grammy Day, me and my mom were running errands, we were driving, and I was like, you can watch the Grammys at home? Up until a year ago, I genuinely had no idea you could watch the Grammys at home. I don't know why that is, don't know where I got that idea, but my whole entire life, I thought, there's an awards show, the Grammys. I thought, yeah, of course it exists. But then the day after the Grammys, the whole world finds out about all the categories, all the different awards, and then the winners of the awards. I don't know why this is what I thought. I don't know where I got that idea. I don't know who gave me that misinformation or if I just came up with it in my mind. But yeah, I basically always thought, you go to the Grammys or you find out about it the next day. And so I was like, do we want to watch it tonight? And we have Hulu, but we don't have on demand, but we have Hulu Live. So it's through Hulu that we can watch things like the news. And so we had CBS and we were able to watch the Grammys at home. So we were watching the Grammys, right? We very spur of the moment decided to do that. This is the first Grammys I've ever watched. Yeah, that's about it. And then Taylor Swift wins her award. She goes up on stage, and I filmed this because I was like, I'm gonna film her speech. And so I actually have the video, which is so cool.
Okay, this is my 13th Grammy. Which is my lucky number. I don't know if I've ever told you that. I want to say thank you to the members of the Recording Academy for voting this way. But I know that the way that the Recording Academy voted is a direct reflection of the passion of the fans. So I want to say thank you to the fans by telling you a secret that I've been keeping from you for the last 2 years, which is that my brand new album comes out April 19th. It's called The Tortured Poets Department. I'm gonna go and post the cover right now backstage. Thank you, I love you.
She gets on stage, she announces the Tortured Poets department, and I was like, what? So I immediately opened Instagram 15 seconds after she posted about her new album and changed all the stuff on her Instagram. So anyways, this was my first, it was my first Grammys that I've ever watched, but it was also my first award show that I ever watched. And I have a video of Taylor announcing the Tortured Poets department. I can't believe that I saw this happen, and then literally 5 seconds after she was done with her speech, after she won her award, I looked at Instagram, and then this exact post was what I saw. I saw this post 15 seconds after it was posted. I was so sure we were gonna get Reputation, Taylor's version, but we didn't, of course. But we got something arguably better because there's a little bit more to look forward to here. It's entirely new and exciting and different. So first things first, my initial thoughts after the announcement. During the announcement, after the announcement, the following day after the announcement, I was just like, what it's currently Tuesday, so it's been 2 days now since the announcement, since we knew that the Tortured Poets Department was coming out, and like obviously now we know all the titles of all the songs that are going to be included in the album, so it's like now there's more information, we know more, it's a little bit easier to just like not freak out. So now I want to talk about my genre prediction. I think that this clearly has a lot of similarities as far as the album cover goes to Folklore and Evermore, because they're sister albums, but like I feel like it's going to be very similar to Folklore, and I love Folklore. I mean, the songs on that album are just like some of the best ever. If we don't get like a Folklore kind of feel, then the cover of the album just won't really suit it. I don't know. That's my opinion. So now let's talk about these song titles and my thoughts on them, as well as the collaborations that will be included in this album. First things first, we have Fortnite featuring Post Malone. I don't know. That song, I don't really have any thoughts about based on the title and the fact that she's collaborating with Post Malone, who I don't really listen to any music from. I don't know his music that well at all. So next is the Tortured Poets Department. I'm very excited for this song. This is the, title of the album. And so I don't know what to expect from this song. I feel like it is going to be, as I said, like very similar to Folklore, but I feel like in general the whole album will be. So track 3 is called My Boy Only Breaks His Favorite Toys, and I feel like this is kind of like an analogy to like your boyfriend breaking your heart, you know what I mean? Next up is Down Bad. So I feel like I keep kind of thinking of Bad Blood in a way, even though I doubt it's going to be at all similar. What are we going to get from this album? It's really just so weird to think about it. Like, I have no idea. Next is So Long London, and this is like, maybe we're thinking like So Long London Boy, right? It could be that my brain is a little broken. However, the next song is called But Daddy, I Love Him, which is, if I'm not mistaken, from The Little Mermaid. That is from The Little Mermaid, right? Like, that's what I always thought at least, or I don't know, could be wrong. Okay, next up is Fresh Out of the Slammer. So, Fresh Out of the Slammer is a little bit of like an edgier song title. Next we have Florida featuring Florence and the Machine. Florida with 3 exclamation marks though. So like Florida, or like, I don't know. How are we saying this? I don't know. Is it like a positive Florida? Like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited, I'm in Florida. Or is it like, I hate Florida, right? I don't know. Next, we have Guilty as Sin. So this song, I'm so curious about. Plus, Guilty as Sin also has like a question mark at the end. So Guilty as Sin question mark, like did I actually do something bad? Next we have Who's Afraid of Little Old Me. This is gonna be such a good song, I can feel it. So yeah, personally, so excited. Next we have I Can Fix Him, No Really I Can. So You're Losing Me was written pretty much around the same time as the Tortured Poets Department, allegedly, just because Taylor did say she's been keeping this secret for 2 years. You're Losing Me, which is part of the Midnights era. She's like saying, you're losing me, this is like kind of over. And then I Can Fix Him, No Really I Can. Next we have LOML, and I may seem a little silly for saying this, but I actually had no idea what that meant, so I had to look it up. But it is Love of My Life, so I'm really excited for that song. I feel like it may just end up being like one of the best ones on this album. Next is I Can Do It With a Broken Heart. What are we doing? Just like living life, or something more specific? And then we have The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived. That title is very intriguing. And then The Alchemy. We'll see. That's gonna be so cool. I'm excited for that one. And then Clara Bow, : What is Clara Bow? I actually don't know. Am I missing something? We'll see. I'm gonna look it up really fast actually, because what does that mean? Okay, I'm sorry. I guess this must be before my time, because Clara Gordon Bow, who died in 1965, was an American actress who rose to stardom during the silent film era of the 1920s and successfully made the transition to talkies in 1929. Her appearance as a plucky shop girl in the film It brought her global fame and her nickname, the It Girl. Beau came to personify the roaring 20s. I had no idea who Clara Beau was, but I just looked it up, and it's honestly insane, but she is the It Girl, literally the actress who was nicknamed the It Girl. But yeah, apparently she was like in the silent movie era, and so if you ask me, this may be a little bit like old and sort of rich 1920s style coded. I feel like there's gonna be lots of like pearls and like that's just like the vibe that maybe is going along with this album, but mixed in with folklore. I don't know. And then lastly, we have the bonus track, the manuscript. I am so beyond excited for this because the manuscript is like a handwritten with like a pen rough draft, basically. That's like what the definition of a manuscript is. And they're often like made for plays and stuff like that, I believe, right? So anyways, I feel like that's gonna be really cool. So I feel like the next thing I need to talk about is what I think the meaning behind the album is. Like obviously it's gonna have to do with Jo Alwyn and her relationship as it's like ending, because this is like right around the same time as You're Losing Me was written. However, I feel like there's also gonna be somewhat of a similarity to Midnight's. I feel like we're gonna touch on the end of Taylor and Joe's relationship and then like also insecurities and just, I don't know, that kind of thing. So next up, let me talk about the song I'm most excited for in this album. I feel like honestly, it's obviously, I'm so excited for the Tortured Poets department. That is like obvious, right? Of course. I am really excited for The Alchemy. I just feel like that's gonna be so interesting. And then LOML. Am I the only one who noticed how many long titled songs there are on this album too? Like, is that just me? I mean, there's like literally 5-word long titles. So last thing related to this new album, the Tortured Poets department, let's talk about the timeline. Taylor said that she has kept this secret for 2 years, meaning, you know, it's the very beginning of 2024, it's the beginning of February, so I'm still gonna consider it 2023 for the sake of this. She would have been writing this basically mid-2021, end of 2021, beginning of 2022, and that's a while ago. And it's honestly crazy because this is like when we got Midnight's, basically, that she was like working on this. So now that I've talked about all of my predictions for the Tortured Poets department, which is going to be such a cool album and I'm so excited for that, I'm going to talk about my thoughts on not getting Rep TV and like when I think we'll get Reputation, Taylor's version, and the announcement and just like all that stuff. So, as this video is coming out, Taylor will have already been performing, starting off her, you know, Eras Tour 2024 shows. Yes, she could have just been throwing us off of, you know, her scent. Like, yes, she did that, honestly. So we never expected full-heartedly to be getting a new album announcement. We thought we would get Rep TV announcement, right? I think we will get that announcement, you know, like in the next month. I really do think so. So last but not least, let's talk about the website glitching. Like, that was obviously no mistake. We were being tricked basically into believing that we were gonna get Reputation Taylor's version when in fact we didn't. Of course, she also changed her profile picture on Sunday, so instead of having the regular Midnight's picture of her face, we got a black and white version of it, and so everyone was like, okay, it's the day we're getting Reputation Taylor's version tonight at the Grammys. We, of course, didn't. We got something so cool and exciting, though. Long story short, the website glitched. That was on purpose, and then there was like a little message you had to decode, and that was red herring. So red herring, the definition of that is like basically throwing someone off of your scent, and that's what Taylor did. You know, she threw the Swifties off of her scent. We thought we were getting Rep TV. We got the Tortured Poets department, and I'm not complaining whatsoever. So there's honestly like so much thought that must have gone into this. Those are my predictions though for this album. I cannot wait for April 19th. and it's gonna be so cool. This is gonna be really fun. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching this prediction video, for all of my thoughts, ideas, and predictions for the Tortured Poets Department, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys!